If you've watched even a few YouTube videos featuring a host talking to the camera, then you've probably laid eyes on a Blue Yeti microphone. This iconic desktop capsule carried me through 4 years of podcasts and voiceovers back at Pocketnow, and about the only things I found to complain about were its extreme size and weight. So when Blue Microphones announced its smaller and lighter sequel just before the IFA 2018 trade show, I knew what I was saving space for in my bag to Berlin. I'm Michael Fisher, and this is the Mr. Mobile review of the Blue Yeti Nano. Let's kick it off with a word on sound quality. The old Blue Yeti was perfectly serviceable for podcasts and YouTube, especially given the audience expectations for those media back in 2012. But it was the simplicity that really sold it. No preamp, no separate shock mount. You just dropped it on the table, plugged in the USB cable, and started recording. Well, the Yeti Nano makes things even simpler. The front-mounted controls have been condensed into a single knob. If you've got headphones plugged into the port on the bottom, you turn this to adjust their volume. You can also click it to temporarily mute your audio. The ring light will switch from green to red to tell you it's safe to cough. Around back, there's a single button to control the pickup pattern. Cardioid if you want to focus on sound coming in from the front. Omni if you want to record sound from all directions, as in a podcast. I had the opportunity to test both modes during IFA 2018. Almost every video I shot there featured a voiceover recorded on the Blue Yeti Nano in cardioid, and episode 395 of the Android Central podcast was recorded in Omni. I tell you that so you can get a rough sense of how the Yeti Nano sounds, but please keep in mind that those recordings were done in straight-up bad recording environments. The voiceover for this video was recorded on a Blue Yeti Nano here in my sound booth back in Boston. While it's not quite up to the level of my regular studio microphone, well, that's because it's about $900 cheaper. Yeah, the Blue Yeti Nano costs $99. And if you're using it for podcasting or voiceovers from, say, an acoustically balanced bedroom, well, its dual 14mm condenser capsules will probably give you more quality than you need. In my case, I found the Yeti Nano did much the same for my voice as the older Yeti. Gives me a warmer and bassier tone than some other mics, with fairly good resistance to pops from plosives, even without a pop screen. What's more, just like the previous Yeti, you just take the USB cable, plug and play. There's no setup required on Windows or Mac OS. Do I have my complaints? Sure. Blue had to cut some corners to get under $100, and yeah, it shows. The tilt knobs on the side, they take a lot of turns to tighten, and they never feel quite firm enough. There's no rubber of any kind to protect the mic from bashing against the legs in the folded position, so you gotta do something stupid like stick a balled-up sock in there. 2 recording modes from the big Blue Yeti were eliminated in the Nano. I never used those alternate modes, but it's worth mentioning. I'm not a big fan of Blue's decision to remove the gain control knob, though. It's just simpler to use a knob than it is to use an app. Second to last ding is the obligatory complaint about micro USB in 2018. And finally, the Blue logo popped off of mine right after I unboxed it. It just took some super glue to get it back in place, but still not an encouraging sign.
Crap.
Are those shortcomings enough to get in the way of a recommendation? Heck no. The Blue Yeti Nano is an easy-to-use microphone that packs away nicely in a bag, delivers very good audio quality for the price, and looks great doing it. It comes in 4 colors, includes everything you need in the box, including a tripod mount and adapter for a mic stand, and at $99, I expect it to dominate desktops in the YouTube and podcast space just as thoroughly as did its venerable predecessor. This video is brought to you by TunnelBear. True story, it's the first VPN I ever used, and I'm genuinely glad to sponsor it. TunnelBear lets you browse the web safely on a public hotspot, which I'm on frequently, and it lets you do it with the flick of a switch. TunnelBear even opened itself up to an independent audit to prove it's keeping its security promises. Mainly, though, gotta be real, I'm here for the mascot. Help support Mr. Mobile, secure your browsing for the next 2 years, and save almost 60%. Hit the links in the description to secure your special deal on TunnelBear. And thanks. Fellow creators, what microphones do you use to get your voice to the masses? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to check my other videos from IFA 2018 and that Android Central podcast, number 395, for more audio from the Blue Yeti Nano out in the field. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay mobile, my friends.